Safety Solution provides professional consultation, engineering services, and trainings for the clients who are active in the field of oil, gas, chemical, petrochemical, dairy, pulp and paper, and geothermal industries. One of our main training courses is hazardous area classification, and today we are here with Joe, a senior consultant of Safety Solutions, and we want him to walk us through this course and tell us more about it. Good day, Joe.
Good day.
Joe, can you tell us what are the main components of this training course?
The main components are to provide an overview of the combustion processes and the basis for estimating the extent of hazardous areas. It covers the national and international codes and recommended practices for this work for both fluid and dust releases. It provides an understanding of the current best practice techniques for establishing the degree and extent of classified areas, particularly for releases outside the scope of the standard examples. It provides an overview of the different design bases for the electrical equipment protection that is certifiable for use in specific hazardous areas. And finally, it provides people with the practice of obtaining data, performing and documenting the hazardous area assessment.
Excellent. So, who can take part in this training?
The training is aimed at professional engineers and provides participants with the framework and understanding required to perform hazardous area classification.
And is there any specific background required?
The standards require or suggest that the area classification should be carried out by those who understand the relevance and significance of the properties of flammable substances. They should understand the principles of gas and vapour dispersion and be familiar with the process and the equipment.
Well, how long would it take?
It's a 2-day course.
And what would the participant achieve attending in this course?
The course covers the requirements intended for engineers and engineering associates who are responsible for classifying these areas. Specifically, it addresses they should be able to demonstrate knowledge of explosive atmospheres and explosion protection principles. They should be able to demonstrate knowledge of processes involved in gathering and analysing technical data to classify these areas. They should be able to determine the type and extent of the explosion hazard, establish the type and extent of the classes and zones, and finally document the classification and delineation of the zones.
And what is the legislative environment around this topic for local and international trainings?
For New Zealand, the need for hazardous area classifications is covered under the HAC Act, and the type of protections are defined in the electrical regulations. The competencies required are covered by New Zealand standards, and there is a NZQA classification for qualification for classifying hazardous areas.
Thank you very much, Joe.
You're welcome.